The Browns have made a signing, and we're going to break down the news, run through all the stats, and get you guys caught up to speed on everything happening. But first, a quick reminder for all of you that have not subscribed, join nearly 15,000 subscribers strong here at the Cleveland Browns Report by Chat Sports. Join the #1 Browns YouTube channel out there. The Browns have made a defensive tackle signing, and no, it is not Ndamukong Suh. As fun as that would have been to say, it is a guy we all know, right? It is the household name, Ben Stille. I'm guessing a lot of you probably search Ben Stille, and then it's like, do you mean Ben Stiller? No, we mean Ben Stille. Who the hell is he? Well, he comes over from Miami's practice squad, like Adam Schefter reports. We're going to run through Ben Stille, get to know him a little bit here, and I'll kind of give my analysis and breakdown of this move. But there was also another piece of Cleveland Browns news that happened today. Jeremy Fowler reporting that the Chargers are signing defensive tackle Tyler Davison off the Browns practice squad. Yeah, who remembers that when the Browns brought him in, former Falcon, former Saint? Well, Davison, 7-year starter, never made it up to the Browns' active roster, which is a bit surprising. One, I sort of forgot he was on the practice squad. But two, you had Perrion Winfrey be a healthy scratch, and they opted to go with the UDFA rookie, Roderick Perry, instead. So after the Chargers moved down from Jerry Tillery, they bring on a different defensive tackle. But for whatever reason, I'm guessing Davison in practice was just not impressing Stefanski and the coaching staff. But Ben Stille does come over from the Miami Dolphins, joins the Cleveland Browns. He's a UDFA out of Nebraska. He's only been elevated for one game this season. That was the Dolphins Steelers horrible game in prime time. He had 2 tackles in it, but outside of that, he has been riding the bench, been a practice squad member. So not a whole lot of breakdown or stats to let you guys in on when it comes to Ben Stille. If we want to go back to his college days when he was a Cornhusker, he was a 4 or 5 year player with Nebraska, played in 53 games, 149 tackles, 30 tackles for loss, 14.5 sacks, and 1 forced fumble. Let's not be lying to you guys if I stood up here right now and said, this is the move that's going to turn around this defense. No, it's not the move that's going to turn around this defense. I'll tell you why in a little bit. But when we look at this defensive line right now, it's atrocious. Outside of Myles Garrett, there has been no productivity whatsoever from any other starter. And that goes for Clowney. And I understand the ankle injury is a legitimate reason or excuse. But at the end of the day, there has been no next man up mentality. No one has filled his shoes. We've seen some nice plays from Isaiah Thomas and maybe a nice run stop from Alex Wright. Haven't seen Chase Winovich pretty much. So, no, this move is not going to come in here with a Superman cape on and save the defense and save the season for the Cleveland Browns. In fact, I thought it was kind of interesting that after the Dolphins loss, the Browns released Roderick Perry. I mean, the poor guy just gets elevated. Did he have a good game? Not really, no. Did anyone? No. But for whatever reason, the Browns felt that that was a move they had to make. They also released Isaac Rochelle from the defensive line over the weekend, which, I mean, I didn't think was a big, groundbreaking move. But for TikTokers out there, my girlfriend was like, they released Isaac? And I was like, yeah, wow, how do you know this? It's like, it's all over TikTok. So, sorry, Rochelle. But what is your one-word reaction to the signing of, we'll call him Ben Stiller, of Big Ben Stiller, Ben Stille? I've got my one-word reaction. I want to hear yours, though. Get creative with it. You can do what I do. I'm going to cheat and go, my one word, wake-up call. One big word, wake-up call. Because Andrew Berry is sending a message to this entire defensive line room that if you can't get the job done, we will replace you, right? We will go to the practice squad of the Miami Dolphins and bring on a guy who's a UDFA rookie that has 2 career tackles, and he will take your spot. This goes for Taven Bryan, Jordan Elliott, Perrion Winfrey, Tommy Togiai, the whole bunch. This is a wake-up call to get your act together right now. All right, we're going to break down this move and more, look at some stats, look at some PFF grades, and kind of round out this video in just a moment. But I've got to tell you guys about today's proud sponsor, Established Titles, okay? Today's Cleveland Browns Report is sponsored by Established Titles. Established Titles is a fun and novel way to help preserve the natural woodlands of Scotland while also helping global reforestation efforts. It is a project based on historic Scottish custom where landowners are referred to as lairds or lords and ladies in English. Title packs give you at least 1 square foot of dedicated land with a unique plot number on a private estate in Eddleston, Scotland, and an official certificate with a crest. We plant a tree with every order and work with global charities, One Tree Planted and Trees for the Future, to support global reforestation efforts. You can officially include the title Lord or Lady on your credit card, plane tickets, dating profiles, etc. It makes a great last-minute gift. The first 200 people purchasing a title pack using my link will effectively be next to my plot within a few minutes of walking distance. Depending on how many of you want to become a lord or a lady, we can build our own little Browns Report kingdom. It makes an amazing last-minute gift. Established Titles is actually running a massive early Black Friday sale right now with discounts up to 80% off. Plus, if you use code CHAT, you can get an additional 10% off. Go to establishedtitles.com/chat to get your gifts now and help support the channel. That link and the promo code is in the comments and the description of today's show. All right, moving along, let's talk about this defensive line because I saw this tweet that I wanted to share with you guys from a Barstool employee, Will, who tweets out or quote tweets Brad Stainbrook's report from November 13th, right before the Dolphins game, that Winfrey will not be dressing for the Browns-Dolphins game. And then Will Burge quote tweets it and says, part of the crew that spends too much time at the club. Seems like the team has had enough. Kid's talented. Hopefully he gets it together. This is his second, Perion Winfrey's second violation of the team policy because he continues to face disciplinary issues, right? I'm not sure if they're actually going to the clubs the night before games or whatever, but I think there's a lot of truth to this defensive line, this defense, players on this team are not acting like this is a professional job. They're not acting like they are NFL players, taking their paychecks, and they're moving on. We've heard it before. John Johnson called out the whole team, saying not everyone is as preparing to a degree that they should be to play in the National Football League. That not everyone's on the same page as to what it takes to be a part of a winning team. And I think we're getting a better idea of what that is. And how some of these players are just treating it like summer football league, right? A intramural league in college, beer softball. It's embarrassing because a lot of us spend a lot of time and money and effort watching this franchise. And to see them piss it away pisses me off. Now, Pro Football Focus is as pissed off as I am, at least at the Browns' defensive tackles. Look at their ranks. I mean, this is why Andrew Berry made the move to bring on Ben Stille. Not because he's going to come in here and be better than these guys, but he's sending a message to these guys. You stink. And if you cannot get the job done, we will find someone who can. That's not a typo below Perion Winfrey. He has dropped out of Pro Football Focus's ranks because he has not played an eligible number of snaps to be counted. Why? Because he's a healthy scratch. That's why. It's November, guys. This group has to figure it out themselves because Ben Stille signing, that does not mean he's going to come in here and save the day. No. A practice squad signing from the Dolphins in November will not be what turns this defense around. It will not be the beginning of the Cleveland Browns movie of how they won the 2022 Super Bowl. It is on this group to figure it out themselves. And Andrew Berry is trying to do whatever he can in November to send a message to get your act together. Okay. Moving ahead here, I think we can have this discussion, though. The Browns, probably not going to the playoffs this year. At 3-6, probably out of the cards. So, without a first-round pick, we look to round 2 right now. Now, we're not going to do mock draft stuff right now. I think that's still a little bit early. But I don't think it's too early to look at, so where do the Browns pick in round 2? Asking for a friend because they need some help. This defense is going to get a complete overhaul. Now, the Dolphins don't have a first-round pick this year. Remember the tampering, the NFL took it away. So the first pick of round 2 will actually be pick 32. So get ready for that. But the Browns currently scheduled to be the 9th team to pick in round 2. behind the Rams. That's not a typo. The Rams do have a second-round pick this year. Who are they going to go with for that 9th pick? I've got one guy in mind. It's a Baylor Bear, Siaka Ika, from Salt Lake City. He's been a 4-year guy at Baylor. This year, just 20 tackles. He's not had a great statistical season. Last year in 2021, he had 4 sacks, has not recorded one this year. But you know what I'm looking at? This thing right there. Can I find it on the green screen? There it is. 6'4", nearly 360 pounds. The Browns defense needs a true nose tackle, interior defensive tackle, to sit in the middle, eat up a center and a guard, so that the linebackers can finally do their jobs. I know this defense is bad, but the root of it, I really believe, is because the defensive line is so bad that opposing offensive lines are able to get to the second and even the third level way too often. So, of course, there's no tackles for loss. Of course, teams run all over the Browns because their defensive line doesn't let anyone else do their job. To wrap up the show one more time, Ben Stille coming over from the Dolphins practice squad. UDFA rookie out of Nebraska. 2 tackles this season coming in that Steelers game, so it's not going to be a move that moves the needle, but it is a move I think that does send a message to this line to get it together. We'll end the show with this question. What is your favorite Ben Stille movie? I'm guessing a lot of you, like myself, hopped onto Google.com today, searched Ben Stille, and it was like, do you mean Ben Stiller? Like, no. I typed it in right, Google. Favorite Ben Stille movie? There's only one answer. It's Dodgeball. Producer Nick, do you have a favorite Ben Stille movie? You want to hop on the mic? Let's bring Nick Roloff on. We're gonna welcome Nick Roloff onto the show. Nick, favorite Ben Stille movie? Go.
Dodgeball was a great answer.
Dodgeball's a good answer.
Nights in the Museum's a good one.
Oh, very underrated.
Meet the Fockers.
All good movies. Okay, that's gonna do it for us on today's show. Appreciate all of you guys for tuning in, making us a part of your day. I'm gonna sign off here. Follow me on Twitter at Matthew Petey if you have not already. And unless we get some other news, I'll see you guys tomorrow with the latest Browns news and rumors.